Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Today I do want to talk about something real quick. The NBA season is coming to an end, and with that being said, the NBA postseason is coming up. And in the postseason, it's important to see which players have plot, which players actually have a realistic chance of winning an NBA championship, and what would that do for a certain player if they won an NBA championship. I'm going to tell you for each player. Number one, Giannis Antetokounmpo. If Giannis is able to win an NBA championship, that will do so much for his career. He automatically becomes a top 15 player of all time, in my opinion. He jumps up over multiple players, and we can say that he's actually starting a dynasty because the Bucks would have won 2 out of the last 3 years, and technically, I believe they should have won last year if Chris Middleton was healthy. So I'm basically saying that the Bucks have a shot of being a dynasty, and to make a small market team a dynasty is extremely impressive feat. But if he loses, the problem with losing is that people will start to question him. They'll start to question his past championship because, hey, we can say, would the Brooklyn Nets would have won the championship? You know what I'm saying? What if the Clippers would have won the championship but Kawhi did get hurt? Type of thing. So we start to question a lot of things about his career, maybe in that last championship. But if he wins one this year, we're not questioning anything. For sure, he's a top 15 player. Next on the list, Jayson Tatum. If Jayson Tatum is able to win an NBA championship, he can officially be seen as an NBA superstar. To me, Jayson Tatum is not a superstar yet. Jayson Tatum still has to prove it. He made the NBA Finals, but his performance in the Finals was subpar. You know, to me, a superstar is a guy who can win the MVP when he chooses. He can be number 1 and number 2, but hey, I want the MVP this year, I'm going for it. I don't think Jayson is that guy. I think Jason's probably 4th or 5th in that MVP hunt. But Jayson, if you're able to win an NBA championship and able to redeem that last finals, I believe you're officially a superstar, and you can be seen officially up there with the Larry Birds. Not the best Celtic, obviously, but one of the greatest Celtics. You can start being in that type of conversation now. You're already there, but you can be like, for sure, his jersey being retired, for sure, you know, one of the great Celtics ever. James Harden. James Harden definitely has so much to prove. Now, the thing about James Harden is that if he wins a championship this year, it doesn't do too much in the sense of that he doesn't go from the 4th greatest shooting guard to the 3rd greatest shooting guard of all time. I think if he wanted to do that, winning the 17-18 NBA championship would have been the one to do. But I do believe it's that final cemented piece. I think if James Harden wins a championship, he can then come to Houston if he would like to hang out for a little bit. But he can finally retire and finally get that monkey off his back. And depending on how he plays in the postseason, he may even be able to get higher up on the all-time list. You never know. But James Harden winning an NBA championship would be pivotal for his career, and it's something I definitely would like to see. Joel Embiid winning a championship would be also really good for his career. He's obviously, in my opinion, the top 10 center of all time. But if you add the fact that if he wins an NBA and a championship, what can do, he might likely even be the MVP this year. So if he's able to win a championship, that could put him at a higher pace. You can start talking to him with, you know, some of the real all-time greats, not just like Patrick Ewing, but like someone you start saying is, you know, he's not better than Hakeem Olajuwon and them, but you can start talking to him about David Robinson and centers of that nature, and he could be seen and officially as the best center in the league and probably the best center of his generation if he's able to win a championship this year. So that's very important. That's it for the East. The East doesn't have a lot of other people that really matter, and it doesn't really have any, you know, defining moments for this. No other team's going to win besides one of those 3. The Western Conference, Nikola Jokic. Nikola Jokic is one of the most heavily scrutinized players in recent memory from the fact that he's won 2 MVPs but not done anything in the postseason. This is the postseason where he can shut everyone up, say, I'm truly the MVP. I'm the best player, if not the best top 2, top 3 player in the NBA. And winning a championship would also basically do what it did for Joel Embiid. And my last, you know, what I just previously said, what it allows him to do is now I could be a top 10, top 5 center maybe, I don't know. And you can actually have these debates, you know, with, you know, Jokic versus David Robinson and all these other guys, because winning 2 MVPs, maybe 3, and an NBA championship, likely a finals MVP, is a very, very impressive feat that not many centers have done. So you can definitely have a conversation with the all-time greats and not look ridiculous. And it cements him as one of the greatest offensive players in NBA history. Kevin Durant, you need a championship, man, because Kevin Durant, those 2 championships he got in Golden State don't really matter. Don't really count. No one really cares and puts too much into those championships. What people care about is what he's done after Golden State, and he hasn't done anything with Golden State. He had a super team in Brooklyn, but he did not win a championship. And, you know, there's many reasons why he didn't win a championship, but the fact that he did not win a championship definitely negatively affects his career, especially since Steph Curry won a championship. So KD has to win to prove that those two championships, to prove that he's a true champion. People are saying he's not a true champion. To prove that he deserves to be called a champion, he needs to win a championship this year, especially in the conference with Steph Curry. Chris Paul is similar to James Harden, and as in the fact that if he wins a championship, he likely doesn't move up on a point guard list, but it's just a nice, good cement, to cement his career, because he's been through a lot of hardships. It's something he's gonna probably cry if he wins a championship, but definitely it'd be so great for Chris Paul to win. It's like I say, he's not going to go higher on the list, but he definitely it'll cement him in his place in history. And he'll be, instead of be called a loser and a choke artist, he can finally be called a winner, because, it doesn't matter how long it takes. Gary Payton won a championship. No one calls him a choke artist because, hey, he didn't choke a lot. I don't think he choked, but he won a championship at the very end, and it took Miami Heat to do it, but he won a championship. So congratulations on that. Kawhi Leonard, I don't believe will ever win another championship. I think the Clippers are cursed. He should have stayed in Toronto. But I think Kawhi Leonard winning a championship does bump him up. You could say maybe a top 20 player of all time. Very impressive to be in the top 20. He took three. He would take in three separate teams. He won 3 championships, 3 separate teams, and likely be the Finals MVP for all 3. I think only LeBron James has ever done that. So definitely he'll be seen as a top 20 all-time player. It'll be more of a task now that Paul George is not going to play for a while. So if he's able to do that, it'd be a very impressive feat. So top 20 is none to sneeze at. Luka Doncic wins a championship this year, then we can officially say he's on that pace, that trajectory. His trajectory is insane, because we expect Luka to be on some Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Michael Jordan type beat. Like, he has that type of talent, but he's never had the team that's been really well built around him, to be like, okay, because even now he has a second star player, but his team isn't built well. There's no defensive players like that, 3-and-D players all around him. So it's still a struggle, but if Luka's able to carry this team, and he can, Kyrie's is obviously a really good player, but if Luka's able to get to the NBA Finals, then definitely Luka Doncic can be seen as, he's up, he's next, he's next, and definitely can retire as a top 5 all-time player. LeBron James, I'm gonna say Anthony Davis first. Depends how good he plays. If he plays really good, then you can start trying to compare him to other really good power forwards in history, but I don't think he can get too high. You know what I'm saying? But he can compare him to all-time great power forwards. But LeBron James specifically, man, if you win another championship at the age of 38, you're the guy the whole time. You come back, your team's a late seed, but you are able to pull your team to win the NBA championship at this point of your career. And, all-time leading scorer. Hey, man. People say you're the GOAT. A lot of people say you're the GOAT already. I don't believe that right now. But if you're able to do this at 38 years old with the Western Conference being so deep and likely the Eastern Conference team you'd have to beat being a juggernaut, you're the GOAT. And that's all I got to say. And Steph Curry, if Steph Curry is able to win an NBA championship, that officially means that he is better as an all-time point guard than Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson is a better passer and pure playmaker, I'd say. But Steph Curry, we're looking at the greatest point guards of all time. Steph Curry, he's officially the greatest point guard of all time, and he gets, especially how his team's been playing this year, and he gets to be in the top 7 all-time list. So that'd be very impressive for Steph Curry if he's able to do that. For more videos like this, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I cannot wait for the NBA postseason. Comment down below if your team has plot, and if it doesn't, like most of y'all's don't, still comment down below. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe for more content like this, and I will catch you guys on the next one. I'm out of here. Peace.